Chances are, if you're going for the killer exosuit, there's two challenges that are preventing you from getting it. The Ultra Killer and the Chain Killer. The Ultra Killer challenge requires you to get exactly 8 rapid kills, whereas the Chain Killer requires you to get more than 8 rapid kills. Both are seemingly impossible, but with the right tactics and map knowledge, you may just get lucky. And luck is definitely what you need for these two challenges. In all honesty, these are 90% luck and 10% tactics. First, I need to note that I'll be doing 2 videos to cover these challenges. This first video is solely for the current gen consoles. Unfortunately, for the last gen consoles, there's only one method to completing these 2 challenges. And that, of course, is to play the Infected game mode. Since there's no ground war on the last gen, Infected is the only mode where you can have more than 6 enemies. So I'll be doing a video giving you strategies on how to achieve these in that game mode next. Note that obviously current gen users can also achieve these challenges in the Infected game mode as well, so be sure to check out part 2. Before I begin, I strongly advise you to watch my first 3 killer challenge videos for the Brutal, Feed Greed, and the Rapid Kill challenges. All 3 of those videos contain tactics that will help us obtain these last 2 challenges. I'll link them in the description and in the end of this video. If you haven't watched them yet, don't worry, if I use something from one of those videos, I'll reiterate it here, albeit briefly. So first of all, I did extensive behind the scenes testing for these 2 challenges. I was testing to see which maps provided the highest success rate for achieving 8 or more kills rapidly. I came to the conclusion that there are 4 maps that are best for increasing your odds. These maps are Comeback, Instinct, Recovery, and the DLC map Sideshow. I'll cover each of these individually as they all require different tactics. So let's start with Comeback. The mode has to be ground war. Domination works best, but really any game type would work. So we've got a few options here, but they all require one thing: the map-based score streak, the Walker Tanks. As I'm sure everyone is already aware, these things are extremely powerful. Not only are they homing missiles, but no perk counters them. Even if you have Blind Eye on, they'll still seek you out. If you don't believe they home in on people, watch this kill cam. The missile clearly is following this guy. You should expect to get anywhere from 5 to 10 or more kills in a single Walker Tank streak. However, rarely do you get more than 3 kills rapidly. And again, that's what we're striving to achieve. So if you missed my Frenzy, Super, and Mega Killer video, basically you want to add score streaks together that can cause complete map devastation. With that in mind, you first need to run the Orbital Care Package with the Support and Double Tap module. The next streak you'll need is the Bombing Run. If you feel you can equip the additional Bomber module and still achieve earning the streak, go for it. If not, the stock Bombing Run works just as well. Next, you want the Warbird with the Aggressor or Defender module. And again, if you think you can still earn it, you can toss on the Rocket modules as well. So that's 3 score streaks. The last one you need is the UAV with the Support, Threat Detection, and Scrambler modules. Now here's where the options come into play. First, you can attempt what I like to call the run and gun method. So earn the Walker Tanks, the UAV, the Bombing Run, and the Warbird. Do not call them in as soon as you get them, but rather save all 4 of them for at once. The location as to where you call them in matters greatly. You can try 2 methods here. The first method requires you and at least a few of your teammates to be on the B flag. First, call in the UAV. The Scrambler effect will buff both the Warbird and the Bombing Run by disabling the enemy's radar, which obscures your streaks. Next, call in the Walker Tanks. Immediately after, call in the Bombing Run and the Warbird. That's the order you want. The UAV, the Bombing Run, the Walker Tanks, and then the Warbird. As soon as you call in that last streak, you'll want to simply hold down the B flag area. Where do people typically go when Walker Tanks enter the map? Straight to the B flag. Since you'll be in there already while your 3 offensive score streaks are bombarding the entire map, your Threat Detection UAV will also be lighting up enemies that are rushing to quote-unquote safety at the B flag area where you'll be already ADSing. As people come pouring in, you can pick them off. If everything goes according to plan, your streaks and you picking off the stragglers should give you a legit shot at 8 or more kills. Now the other method requires the exact same setup, but instead of being on the B flag area yourself, you wait until the enemy has the B flag. Then call in the streaks in the same order I just mentioned, but as soon as you call in the last one, you yourself rush to the B flag area. There's bound to be at least 2 or more enemies in there, so try and pick them off as your score streaks take care of the rest. Again, luck plays a heavy role here. You obviously won't get a Chain or Ultra Killer every time, but your chances of achieving one of these are greatly increased. An interesting tip to note here for this strategy: if you have enough time, try stacking the Walker Tanks. That's right, you can stack the Walker Tanks. It's possible to have 2 out at a time. Use the same call-in strategy as mentioned before. You'll need to have a quick call-in trigger finger to get all 5 score streaks called in fast enough and have enough time to run and gun some straggler kills. So there's 2 more strategies for comeback. The next one requires 2 specific gun variants. And if you don't have them, this one won't work for you, unfortunately. This strategy requires a unique weapon, the NA-45 sniper rifle. The best variant to have is the Ravager, which is one of the elite weapons. If you don't have this one, the NA-45 HE or HE will work, but it's nowhere near as effective. The Ravager variant has an explosion that absolutely decimates all other variants. You must also have Danger Close on. Not only will this ensure death from your explosion, but it also buffs your score streaks. So again, you'll want to run 4 streaks just like before. The Orbital Care Package for the Walker tanks, the Bombing Run, the Warbird with Aggressor, and either the UAV with Scrambler or the Assault Drone with AI control and rockets. Again, you want to earn all your streaks and save them until you have all 4. Once you get all 4, there's an amazing spot that overlooks the B flag that's located to the right of the C flag. You hop up on the ledge in front of some glass and you have a perfect shot for your massive Ravager explosion. The key here is to wait until the enemy is on the B flag before you call in your streaks. Then call in the UAV, the Walker tanks, then the Bombing Run, and finally the Warbird. Once all your streaks are active, all the enemies that think they're safe huddling in the B flag area will be in for a rude awakening when you literally bombard the B flag area with your massive explosions from the Ravager. The explosion will be so large that it will instantly annihilate anyone lurking in there. So fire 4 shots rapidly, 2 on each side, and hopefully the kills will coincide with your score streaks earning kills as well, increasing your odds for a chain or ultra kill. The last strategy for comeback that I could think of is unique and totally dependent on a noob, but it's worth a shot if all else fails. As I mentioned before, the B flag is a heavily populated spot for people to hide when streaks enter the fray. So again, run 4 offensive score streaks. This time, however, I recommend the Bombing Run, the Warbird with Aggressor, the Assault Drone with AI control and rockets, and the Orbital Care Package. For the Care Package, however, we're going to fine-tune the modules. You'll want to put on Double Tap, Drone Delivery, and Trap. Or if you can't earn that without the Support module, just put on Support, Drone Delivery, and Trap. If you've never seen the Drone Delivery in action before, it's the oddest thing you'll ever see. It puts thrusters on the care package that literally makes it hover in place and follow you until you tell it to land. And we can use this to our advantage. What you want to do is earn all your offensive score streaks as well as the care package. This time though, we call in the care package first. When it comes into view, run to the B flag area. The care package will follow you, make it land directly on the B flag, and then get the hell out of there. Immediately find a spot to call in your assault drone, followed by the Bombing Run and then the Warbird. If you're lucky, everyone again will flock to the B flag area. And if there's a noob present, someone may take the bait you've left, as they've probably never seen a care package inside before. If they trigger the trap, it'll explode and kill everyone inside the B flag room, hopefully coinciding with your other offensive score streaks, and again, increasing your odds of getting a chain or ultra kill. You yourself can also be running around looking for stragglers with your gun to help increase your chances. The next map is Instinct. Again, Ground War is the only option here. Domination works best. This map is one of the 3 that offers a wide open layout, which makes the Bombing Run an ideal candidate for being able to rapidly kill 8 or more enemies. However, on Instinct you have to hold a certain section of the map. If you take a look at the map layout itself, you'll notice that one side has far less cover than the other. The C flag area literally has nowhere for your enemies to hide. There are 2 buildings that people can still cower in, but they both have open doorways that allow the Bombing Run to penetrate it. Conversely, the A flag side of the map has a cave that extends the full length of the map. So if you're located on the C side of the map and call a Bombing Run in, chances are you're not going to get many kills at all, because everyone camps their dick off in the bomb shelter cave. So the strategy here is to make sure you and your teammates control the A side cave before you call in your streaks. Normally I tell you the stock Bombing Run is fine, but in this case we want to hit the C side of the map with all we got. With that said, try putting the additional bomber module on. If you can't earn this, you'll have to resort to my UAV and recon drone tactic that I discussed in depth in my Fury Killer video. If you missed that video, in short, you run the UAV with extra assist points, extra time, and the support module. And then you run the recon drone with the support module, increased lifetime, and EMP grenades. Spam the recon drone repeatedly, which both tags the enemies and disables their exosuits. You'll rack up an insane amount of streak points, and should either earn your streak or be really close to earning it when the recon drone expires. If you use this method though, that leaves you with only 1 score streak to add. And if that's your method, use the Vulcan with the light show and the overcharge modules as your last streak. But if you're capable of earning the Bombing Run with the additional bomber on your own, then run the Vulcan as just mentioned, but also include the Warbird with Aggressor, as well as the System Hack, or UAV with threat detection and scrambler. So again, earn all 4 streaks, but make sure you and your team are spawning in and around the cave and the A flag area. If you're on the C flag side of things and you have all your streaks, do not call them in. Hold them until the spawns flip or the round ends and you get the cave side. So once you're in the cave, call in the system hack or UAV with scrambler first. Then call in the bombing run over the C flag strip of the map. Then call in your warbird, and finally the Vulcan. When you're in the Vulcan, pound the fire button as soon as it lets you and aim directly above where you called in the bombing run. Since your entire team should be at the cave side of the map or near the middle of the map, that should potentially leave all 9 enemies on the strip of the map that your streaks are bombarding. I've got several ultra kills using this method on this map. So the next map is Recovery. Again, ground war domination is the game mode and type. The first half of the map simply has too much cover to make it worthwhile to even attempt a chain or ultra killer. However, once the second half of the map emerges, it's an ideal location for an epic bombing run. I really don't have much to add here that I didn't already cover on the Instinct map section. Use the same 4 score streaks, preferably with the additional bomber, and hope that you get lucky. There's really only 2 buildings to hide in, and they are directly across from each other. So you have to be very cautious of where the red dots are lighting up on your bombing run call-in screen. Surprisingly, I've had the most luck with getting chain and ultra killers on this map with the bombing run alone. However, I don't recommend that. It's always best to couple a bombing run with 1 or 2 other streaks to ensure complete map annihilation. Lastly, there's one map that offers the absolute best chance of earning an ultra or chain killer. Unfortunately, it's a DLC map. It's the map Sideshow. Luckily, all the DLC maps get thrown into the ground war rotation. There's seemingly no cover whatsoever on this map. I've been in every building possible and noted that the bombing run can always kill me. And this is why it shines for achieving the ultra and chain killers. Just as before, the bombing run with additional bomber and 3 other offensive score streaks will give you the best odds. If you'd rather try to run and gun during the bombing run, then don't add any streaks that take you out of body, such as the Vulcan or the Missile Strike, but simply stick to the AI controlled ones, such as the Warbird with Aggressor and the Assault Drone. And unfortunately, that's all I've got for advice. Just as I said at the start of this video, these 2 challenges require a lot of luck. Having good strategies will definitely aid you, of course, but you can't really control where your enemies will be or how close together they'll be standing. Trust me, I've racked my brain trying to come up with strategies to make these even slightly easier, and the things I've outlined in this video were my best advice. I can't stress this enough, but maps really do matter. So many times I've seen people attempt these challenges on the worst maps imaginable. For example, the map Urban. Since Urban is one of the smallest maps in the game, you'd think it'd be great for this. But there's so much cover from score streaks that you'll likely never achieve more than 6 rapid kills. I recommend always having a chain or ultra killer loadout for the maps Comeback, Instinct, Recovery, and Sideshow. You may not always succeed or even come remotely close to achieving 8 or more kills, but having the classes available to you when the maps get voted will ensure you're prepared. Opportunity doesn't make appointments. You have to be ready when it arrives.